take a look at this problem. We want to find the focus and directrix and then match the graph up to one of the four graphs given. So we've got x squared equals negative 2y. Actually, let me close that. Okay. X squared is equal to negative 2y. Well, we have to see which one it matches up with. We got two formulas. Top one, where the square root is on the x, or the bottom one, where the square root is on the y. Well, in this problem, we have the square root on the x. So we would use the top formula. Now our top formula says x minus h squared is equal to 4p times y minus k. So x minus h squared is equal to 4p times y minus k. We want to rewrite this so it's in this form. So over here, the x squared, we're going to rewrite that as x minus or x plus a number squared. Now we don't want to change its original value. If you just have the single variable there, you always put a 0. Because whether you got x minus 0 or x plus 0, that's x, and x's second power gives you x squared. Now over on the right side, we need a parentheses before the y. So we'll factor out whatever number's in front of your y. That will always create a parentheses before your y. Okay, so then we got x minus 0 squared. We're going to rewrite the negative 2 as 4 times something, but we'll come back to that. Now this y here, we need that as y minus a number or y plus a number. And I'll put a 0 again, because y minus 0 is y, so we don't change its original value. Now we want to rewrite negative 2 as 4 times something, and sometimes it's easy to see, sometimes it's not so easy to see. A little trick to it, whatever number's right here, in this case negative 2, goes up on top, and then we put a 4 in the denominator. We create a fraction. Again, whatever number's right here goes up on top, and then you always put a 4 there. Because going backwards, the 4's would just cancel, and you'd be left with a negative 2. Well, now it's in the right form. Whatever numbers with our x is our h, and its opposite sign. So h is 0. Whatever numbers inside this parentheses here is our p, and it's negative 2/4 or negative 1/2. And whatever numbers with our y is our k, and it's always going to be opposite sign. Those 0 doesn't have a sign, so k will be 0. Now, even though it's not asking us for the vertex, we need it for graphing purposes. Our vertex is hk, which would be 0, 0. Now our focus. Remember, we're working with the top formula. Top formula says our focus is hk plus p. Well, we said h was 0, so plug that in. K is 0, and p is negative 1/2, so we got that. Which gives us 0, negative 1/2. And that's the first thing they're asking for, is the focus. Now our directrix for the top is y is equal to k minus p. Well, k we said was 0, so we got 0 minus, and p we said was negative 1/2. So we got negative 1/2 there, and a negative negative gives us a positive, so we got y is equal to positive 1/2. Now let's graph this. Our vertex is 0, 0, which is right there. Our focus is 0, negative 1/2. Well, let's say this right here is negative 1. So negative 0, negative 1/2 would be about right here. And our directrix is y is equal to 1/2. So let's say that's 1. And y is equal to 1/2 would be about right there. Okay, now we want to drop a point somewhere. I drop a point right here. And you're looking at the distance from your point to the directrix and your distance from your point to the focus. You want to keep moving your point until those distances are the same. And that's probably as good as I'm going to give my eyes. By definition, if you look at the distance from your point to the focus, that distance there should be the same as the distance to your directrix, forming a 90-degree angle. Then we drop another point, say right here. I'm looking at the distance from my focus to the directrix, or from my point to the focus and point to the directrix, I need to move it a little bit. Maybe not very good with these. Right there. Again, I'm eyeballing it. This distance here should be the same as this distance, that should have been a straight line, to the directrix. Now once you got 2 points and you draw a line through them, remembering that the parabola is curved, and then by symmetry this is going to be the same over here. So to see which one this matches, it looks like B. So those would be our 3 answers.